little bit crazy, but here we are. I have a bad habit of choosing to wait until the last minute to do my hair. Yes, I'm out here looking like somebody's grandma. My face is acting up. Like, life is just lifing for me right now. So I'm giving myself a little treat. I'm going to see my favorite group on Tuesday. It is Friday afternoon. I'm about to do my hair. A little style that I've been seeing going around where you basically just sew it in the back and like braids in the front. So it appears as if you have a whole bunch of hair or have a full sew-in or something like that, and there's like pieces added in. All of which I've never attempted outside of braiding. Well, yeah, I have sewed my hair, but I can't tell you the last time I did a sew-in. Pray for me. So guys, I know most people use deep wave or some version of curly weave when installing. However, I'll be using a mix of body wave and straight here for this install. One, because it's close to the overall finished look that I'm going for. And two, because I didn't know if I'll like the style enough or even that I can execute it the way it needs to be done to spend the money required for some good quality curly bundles. I did contemplate it, but my bank account was like, sis, be sure, because there is no returning once you start cutting wefts. I purchased pre-stretch expression hair in the length 32 inches. I even plan to cut the length down more, but during the install process that you guys will see later, I discovered that my hair is essentially the same length. So guys, this is the braid pattern that I decided to go with. I am going to leave out the sides for braiding, the middle for braiding. I left a little bit on the side right here to do like 1 row, 2 rows in the back. And then I'm just gonna put the weave on. You guys will probably notice that there's 2 different braid patterns. The reason for that is simply because it was an accident. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started, and I started on this side. As I got into it and then I came over here, I finally remembered how I used to braid my hair for sew-ins, and I was just like, oh my goodness. But anyway, I am going to sew the hair in first, and the reason for that is I don't want to braid my hair longer than the weave that I have. I don't have much to say about sewing the hair in, except that for the first bundle, I did double the weft to sew the hair in. That's just so that I could have a very full look and get more weave into my head. Once I reached the middle or the upper section, I then sewed the hair in single wefts so that it would lay much flatter and it would be a seamless blend from braids to trap. As you guys can see, I tried sewing the last weft as close to where the braids would begin as possible. It was at this point actually that I began to doubt that I even left enough hair out, especially in the back and on the sides, to cover the tracks. I ended up cutting the braid in here as I said I was going to do, but I only installed this in the back and some of the sides. The braid in the back of my head do not have a boho look. I saw a stylist on TikTok say this helps with limiting the tangles in the nape of your neck, but the braids do have the curly human hair on the ends. The back is free parted. Y'all, I was too lazy to get these parts accurate, so I was just grabbing little pieces of hair and braiding. So right now, this is what I have done. The sides are done, the back is done, the front row is done. I cannot lie, I can't even look in the camera right now. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm actually liking it, and that's saying something for someone who literally every time I do my hair, I'm typically like, yeah, this not it, this not working, until it's basically like done, or until the following day. Like, we not even done and I'm already seeing the potential of what it's gonna be. So right now, videos that I've seen, everyone kind of suggests doing like 3 rows here and then 3 rows here. I'm not sure I left out enough here to do 3 rows. So to make sure that I do 3 rows, I am going to pre-part my hair for the 3 rows. And yes, I did start adding the boho look into it now. You can kind of see it. You can see it here. So yeah, now the boho is included in the hair. Yeah, I'm just loving it. Y'all, I can't even focus. I basically forgot to turn back on the camera at one point. That's why we're here. And this is what you're seeing. This is the next clip. Finally, we are at the part most people probably clicked on this video for. The parts for the braids are very small. Initially, they weren't as small as you see, but after completing the first row with only like 6 box braids, I realized I had to put a lot more to cover the tracks as I only had 3 rows to braid. At this point, I am back to using the full 32 inches of the synthetic hair for the install. I barely use the cut hair. For each braid, I do use a small amount. I wanted it to appear like a micro braid, but at the same time have enough hair on it to cover the weft. Since I don't use the knotless braiding method, I usually add braiding gel or edge control to the beginning of my braids to make them appear like smoother and smaller in the beginning. I braid using the traditional method, and I braid about half a finger down before adding in the first piece of human hair for the boho effect. Just a tip for you guys. It's best to feather the tips of the human hair, whether you have bundles of hair or cut from the weft. This makes it a much smoother transition when you're braiding. Anywho, I added the human hair into the back of the braiding hair, almost in a straight line across, then I begin braiding. I braid down another about half finger or so and to lock the human hair into the braid. Then I separate the human hair back out from the synthetic hair and clip it to the braid so it can get out of my way so it doesn't like get back as I'm braiding. I repeated the process 2 or 3 more times for each braid. I did about 2 or 3 boho strands before I add human hair to the end of the braids. I did use nail glue to seal the ends of my braids, y'all, and I wish I did not, because for some of the braids I actually put way too much nail glue and you kind of like see the clump, like this white residue. It was just, yeah, be careful if you're using nail glue. Just use a very tiny amount. Guys, this is the point I realized I added more human hair on one side of my head than the other. I was looking at it like, I cannot believe I did this, but whatever, the show must go on. So right now I'm going to show you guys once again how I did the boho braid.
Myself and I, that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out, and it ain't no need to cry. I took a vow that from now on, I'm gonna be my own best friend. Got me, myself, and I know that I will never disappoint myself. All the ladies, if you feel me, help me sing it out. I'm spent with you. Yeah, you hurt me, but I learned a lot along the way. After all the rain, you'll see the sun come out again. Myself.
Though no one asked, I must say this is one of the most annoying hairstyles I have ever done on myself. The process of adding the hair in, then separating, the repetition, it was just too much. It was too much. I can't imagine sitting there and doing that for my whole head. I even messaged my stepmother as I was braiding it and was like, yo, this is one style that I should have left to the professionals. It's not, in my patience, no, it's non-existent for this style, non-existent. So the finished look, being completely transparent, I was very concerned I did not have enough braids in my head to cover the track. And I also knew that the higher ponytail option was a no. It was just a no, because I did not have enough braids in the back of my head or even on the sides to cover that. So I was just like, yeah, we're just gonna be wearing it down. Or at least a half up, half down look. Also guys, although the hair was clean, I did make the mistake of using the Braiding gel, and it was getting into the human hair even though I was trying to use it only for the synthetic, and it made the human hair kind of tacky, which to me just screams like I'm gonna run into tangles in the future. So I just used the clarifying shampoo to wash the braids when I finished braiding. I also dipped the hair in hot water after washing, which probably is an unnecessary step. Like, I don't know, but I did do the hot water dip, and then I used mousse to try and bring out the curls in the body wave here at the ends of the braids. I probably used way more mousse than I needed to use. Y'all, I also finally had a reason to use this diffuser attachment that came with my blow dryer. I did not want to air dry my hair because I wasn't sure if I had tucked in much of my natural hair as I was braiding, and I didn't want it to revert to the natural texture if I allowed it to sit there and air dry. So that's why I diffused my hair to dry it. Diffusing it did bring out the curls a little bit, but as I mentioned in the beginning, I am using a combination of human hair, which is straight, and body wave hair, so it pulled, so I had to pull out the curly wand to finish the look. And if you guys didn't already summarize by now, just know that yes, this is a high maintenance style. I mean, more than half of my head is an actual sew and weave. So basically, I just grab a few pieces of the human hair and curl them. It doesn't have to be perfect or overly neat. This is boho. It's meant to look effortless. Once this was done, immediately the style came together. Guys, I was so pleased with the finished look. I didn't even finish curling the second side of my hair before I started like playing with it and styling my hair. And yes, curling and styling does help to cover the tracks, and by the time the roots are not as neat, it looks even better. When it comes to money, I did concentrate. Because I tell you straight, you are not my mate. If you become some of the head of state. But my people then go say, I know one buy, I know one die, I know one payment, I want enjoy, I want job life, I want buy motor, I want build house, I still want to know. And as I like to do here, guys, here's a few clips of my days in the hair. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You have time for a selfie?